Good morning, everybody.
Hello. This is Becca and Shannon here. We don't have any viewers yet.
I know they're going to come. They will come. You add snow in the forecast and viewers will come.
Look at it all. Look at all the colors.
It's funny. So one of our former coworkers posted something on Twitter, and he was like, it's not very often that you see every color on a weather map. And then it was like East Tennessee, where they were like, hold my beer. Because it's like clearly we've got the messiest morning this morning. If you don't follow us already over on the WBIR Weather Facebook page, come and join the conversation over there, because we get to do videos like this every so often over on our Channel 10 page, primarily only when we have huge impacts across the area. And let us know if you can hear us. We have a microphone, but I want to make sure it's powerful enough where you can hear me, you can hear Shannon, and both of us. So we're going to quickly talk about what is happening impact-wise on the roads, and then I will jump over and kind of recap the forecast. I know that we have some people without power across the region, which is why these Facebook Lives are so important.
Right.
And if you are living in an area and you have your devices fully charged, keep them plugged in today, just for the very fact that if you do lose power, you want to have a way to find information out. And also, they always remind folks to have a car charger.
Yeah. Make sure your car is gassing it.
Yes. So, Shannon, I'm going to pass you the microphone, and then I'm going to share this over on our weather page, so that way we can get this with that audience as well.
Perfect. So for those of you that are watching, we're going to start with not so much the forecast. We're going to start with what the forecast is doing, which is a lot of electric outages right now. So Volunteer Electric is citing about 60 people out of power between Fentress and Roane counties. Sevier County's only got 12 people. We know you guys don't have the brunt of it yet. Appalachian Electric Co-op is probably where the most power outages we're seeing right now, is 1,100, almost 1,200 people in Hamblin and Jefferson counties out of power. So if you guys are watching, we're thinking about you out there. Make sure you have lots of blankets on. I know it's cold out there this morning. KUB actually reporting 1,600 outages last I checked about 5 minutes ago. That's, all different parts of Knox County. Newport Utilities saying 80 people out of power in Cott County. And we also want to talk about the roads this morning. So if you were out driving this morning, you probably saw that the roads are wet. We had a break in some of that precipitation this morning. So it's giving the roads maybe a little bit of time to dry off. But basically, we've had some issues this morning. TDOT tweeting saying Monroe County, State Road 165 near the Tennessee-North Carolina line, was pretty patchy with slick ice this morning. Morristown police also saying they had some slick roads on Morristown, had a lot of snow this morning. We were surprised to see how much was coming in. Parts of it, like half of Morristown, had a lot more snow than the other half. So that's up in Hamblin County where a lot of those power outages are. So White Pine also is where the majority of those Appalachian Electric Co-op outages are reported. So we're continuing to follow that. We also have some churches that have delayed their times this morning that our digital team has up online that you can check out. But this is going to be, changing, because Becca is talking about tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, luckily, a lot of kids are out of school thanks to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, because the roads are going to be a little rough tomorrow morning. So, but we got to get through the rain and the snow first. So that is your electric and road update. I'm going to send it over to Becca with your weather. Here you go. Take it away.
Sorry, I was slowly reading some of the comments that we're seeing on this.
Yeah, what do we have?
Just a lot of people, I think, just really giving some great input, which is awesome. I appreciate all of the comments. I really 100% do. And I know that what people want to get to is the forecast.
Yeah, so take it away, Becca.
I'm going to take it away. Yes, thank you so much, Shannon. And we're going to do more updates as need be. And I actually think, is this a good angle for folks? Because I'm going to keep this behind me. So let me know if this is a bad angle. But I think from where we're at, hopefully you get a chance to see me, you get a chance to see what is happening. So we are continuing to watch a low pressure system that's sliding across the southeast. If you are a person who likes to watch national weather coverage, the Weather Channel, I believe they're live in Asheville this morning, where it's just getting hammered with snow. Here in East Tennessee, it's a little bit of a different scenario. We are seeing everything, folks. Rain, sleet, snow. We even had a brief period of ice across northeast Tennessee, and that's probably one of the reasons why in Hamblin County there was some of those power outages. So let's kind of put this into motion. We're in a brief break right now here in the Central Valley and primarily north of where we're not seeing any precipitation. And this is probably going to be the only break that we have in the snow. You think that's good enough, Shannon?
Yeah, I got closer.
Okay. We're trying to get close enough, but we're trying to make sure we can still explain the information. So let's kind of put the futurecast into motion. And I know that we're going to have to switch. I want to switch it around because I know that's backwards.
Oh, I got
you.
I'll turn it.
Can you turn it? Because
Hey,
I think people will be upset if it is backwards. And it is backwards. I just Big brain thinker this morning, right? Can you see us now? Sorry,
Sorry,
Shannon. You're probably
sideways. I'm fixing it, everybody.
going to have to stay in here.
It's all right.
Okay.
I will never leave you.
I'll make this quick. I know people's time.
It's not backwards anymore. Don't worry, guys.
Is that what they were saying? Was it backwards? I
saw one.
knew that's what. I was like, oh, it's backwards. We're
Okay,
going to get
you're
something.
good now.
So let's talk about the FutureCast model. We are going to continue to see a little bit of everything. Yes, we are in a break right now. Models were indicating this yesterday. But as we go through about mid-morning and into the afternoon, here it comes again, folks. And once it moves in this afternoon, I do expect to see a rain, sleet, transitioning into snow mixture. The magic window is going to start anywhere between 4 to about 7 o'clock. And so I would say closer to around 7, 8 o'clock after sunset in the Central Valley will we start to see that all transition to snow. Across the higher elevations, there's a much better opportunity that we will see snow starting even as early as this next round moving in. And I really think that snow is going to last on and off throughout the day. What is so ironic about this system is just the vast difference that we can have even in a city. We've had plenty of folks share photos and videos from us this morning from La Follette, from Caryville, where they have received just a downpour of snow, and then their neighbors down the street have nothing. And that really explains just the big changes that we're going to have all across East Tennessee. The snow will last overnight tonight going into your Monday. And I was mentioning this to Shannon earlier. I actually think that Monday, tomorrow, may be more impactful than what we're prepared for. And the reason why is because of the rain that we had this morning. We had rain this morning which washed away a lot of that brine, a lot of the treatment that we had on the roadway. And so once we start to see that sleet snow mixture build back up this afternoon, and when we get snow on top of that, it's going to make everything really icy tomorrow. And that is why the National Weather Service and TDOT is really urging folks to not get on the roads today if you don't have to. But what makes me a little nervous is the potential for seeing some snow flurries tomorrow morning. If you've lived up north, if you have friends or family that live up north, there's nothing worse than having an icy surface and then sprinkling a little bit of some snow on top of it. And the snow that we get tonight and into tomorrow will be a little bit of a drier snow. It's going to be pushing in on the back half of the low. And so with that being said, it's going to make everything much slipperier tomorrow morning. So I think that tomorrow morning, thankfully there's no school for most areas. I think that tomorrow is going to be a much more impactful day on the roads than what we may be totally preparing for.
Hey, it's snowing in Oneida right now.
Oh, great. Yeah. Keep those photos coming. They make me so excited. Yeah, and then we go into Tuesday, and Tuesday is a dry day. So impacts all the way through tomorrow are going to be primarily on the roads. We've already had 6.4 inches of snow reported out at Newfound Gap. So the higher elevations, the plateau, snow is going to be a big part of your forecast. I do think that snow is going to be an issue. Central Valley, it's going to be the roads. Power outages, as you just heard from Shannon, we're already starting to see some power outages just from what we had this morning. And when you factor in the winds, when you factor in the potential for some heavy wet snow, sleet moving through the area, I do think that power outages will be a concern.
Well, we have some good news.
Okay, what is the good news?
Appalachian Electric Co-op, which is where our 1,200 power outages now, we're down to 70. So
good.
That's over in Granger, Jefferson County. Looks like south of Washburn, Rutledge.
Yep.
So you guys are looking much better now. Only 70 power outages.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, they were over 1,700 this morning, I think, at one point.
1,700 this morning.
Which, wow, they work really, really fast. Any other updates you think we want to get to?
Yeah, I'm trying to load here. It looks like KUB's still around 1,600.
Okay.
Fentress and Rome, we were reporting about 60 this morning. It looks like Fentress is now up to 53. Ray County, if you're watching us from down there, 40. Roan, 31 people out of power. One person in Cumberland County. That's what I've been watching, is up on the plateau, though, to see what that's going to do in that area.
Well, we sent Vinay out there again. Vinay was out in Cumberland. Now, he was in Scott County last Thursday, but he's like our snowman.
We've got a couple in Rockwood. I mean, nothing crazy, but because I think there's just a lot of rain right there. People are telling us it's raining in Clinton right now. So Anderson County's mostly just kind of wet.
Don't be upset, folks. The snow is coming. And I made a joke earlier, but I have to practice the P word with my kids, and that is patience. And so I'm going to remind you at home, viewers, that the P word is also going to be it's the word of the day is patience. And so I think by tonight, as I mentioned, we get that magic switch, we get that cold air that's going to be in place, and then we will start to see the transition to all snow. Let's quickly talk about snow. I've bumped up the totals actually in some spots across the higher elevations of the Smokies. I now have 5 to 9 inches of snow. I think that's really going to be possible. Again, considering that we've already had 6 inches, over 6 inches of snow in Newfound Gap, the Smokies, It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be gorgeous. Plateau, primarily Scott, Fentress County, looking at close to around 4 to 8. 2 to 4, perhaps maybe for Campbell and Claiborne counties. Central Valley, I don't know, folks. That's where the big question mark is at. And trust me, I love snow just as much as you do. I think we're going to be lucky to see an inch. But if we get those snow bands that come down quick enough, think back to the first snow event that we had in East Tennessee. That was almost a week ago, or 2 weeks ago on a Monday. The snow bands were coming down so quickly that it overtook the warmth that we had at the surface. And so if we get snow bands that come down quick enough in the Central Valley, I think that we will have accumulation. And with temperatures dropping into the 20s tonight, that accumulation will likely stay through tomorrow morning. With that being said, I also think that there's going to be spots in the Central Valley that don't have much of anything. So don't hate the messenger. I'm just trying to be honest with you. Then as we go up into Northeast Tennessee, in some areas where we've already had a little bit of a wintry mix this morning, 1 to 3 inches around the Morristown area, I don't think is out of the question either. A winter storm warning, winter weather advisory is all across East Tennessee. This is not necessarily because of the amount of snow. This is because of the concerns on the roadways. So winter travel is going to be possible. Slick roads going to be possible throughout the Central Valley. Higher elevations is where we can see hazardous travel conditions. Down trees, power outages across the Smokies, not out of the question. The Plateau is where we're going to see some heavier snow as well, and that could make travel rather tough. We have a high wind warning. It's breezy outside the Smokies. We could have wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. I was already talking to the winter caretaker out at Mount LeConte, and Peanut was saying that it was super windy up there and that they were already seeing snow drifts that were building. The snow is continuing to fall and temperatures were feeling like they were in the single digits. And so it's definitely a much different scenario up in the higher elevations. A reminder that we're going to continue to see another chance for rain by the end of the week. We will have another chance for maybe seeing some flurries by the end of the week, but we're just going to take it system by system. And today's system is going to bring in a mess. So let's a quick look at your Futurecast model. I want to show you your local Futurecast model. So quickly, let's kind of dive on in locally, and then I can answer some questions. So right now, what we're looking at is a break. Again, not a whole lot of activity happening for the time being, but you notice we have more moisture, more showers that are filling in the southern half of the valley. And that's going to continue to bring in more rain, more sleet, and more snow as we continue to see this pushing from south to north. As we break this down on your Futurecast model, it's not going to take much time, folks. I would say within the next 1 to 2 hours, we're going to start to see more consistent rain, more consistent sleet, more consistent snow. Then as we continue to put this into motion until the afternoon hours, again, that magic window that I was talking about, when we get that cold air that's finally going to arrive in East Tennessee, we will start to see that transition to all snow. Unfortunately, probably going to happen after sunset in the Central Valley. So you're not going to get a chance to go outside and play in the snow today.
Hey,
just not going to happen.
About, schools closed tomorrow.
Schools are closed tomorrow,
Yeah,
which
not
is
because of
great.
snow.
No, because of Martin Luther King Day. So that's great news, folks. And if you can, work from home. I mean, there's no reason to try and push it to be on the roads, just going to be honest. So by this afternoon, I think we'll start to see that transition to snow, and then close to around 7, 8, 9 o'clock, maybe even a little bit before that, if the cold air moves down faster, we will start to see that transition to all snow. Again, so by tonight, late tonight, and going into the overnight hours, we are going to be tracking all snow. And then we'll continue to see that snow slowly lift off to the northeast as that low pressure system moves out of the area. And this is what's concerning, again, is on top of already those slippery conditions. If we don't see snow in the Central Valley, this could be even more of an impact, again, because you're going to have slippery, icy roads. You factor in a little bit of some light snow, it's just going to make everything super slippery. So tomorrow morning, still going to be watching those impacts, still going to see a light accumulation possible into your Monday, and then by Monday night, we can all breathe. It's all going to be done. And we're not trying to hype this up too much. Again, I don't want to make you nervous, folks, but I do expect today just to be a messy day. And we've been highlighting that for the past few days, that we're not going to say it's an all snow event. We're not going to promise you that you're going to have just a beautiful white day. I think it's just going to be a nasty, gross, cold, blustery day, a perfect day to stay inside, watch some football, watch some movies, drink hot cocoa, and just kind of stay put and relax. So Shannon, did we have any just burning questions, you think, from folks?
Well, we got a lot of people. It's just interesting to see, like, it's really windy in Kodak right now. It's
Yeah.
really windy in Gatlinburg. It's really windy in Cocke County. Sun's out in Cocke County right now.
Yeah.
But it's just like you said, it's so different everywhere.
Yeah, we have a big, wide range in weather that's happening across East Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's like a meteorologist headache to try and make everyone happy. And we're not going to get the chance to do that, but I just think the best advice that I have is follow us on social media. Get your devices charged. We're really right now in just the only break that we will have of the day. Then as we go into the afternoon and evening hours, things are going to become much more busy. We're going to see more widespread snow, and we're going to continue to just monitor the situation. But we're having a blast. I appreciate all of you for giving your input, your photos, your videos, your driving conditions. Truly, truly, that means the world to us because we're here in the studio, and you are the ones who get to show us what it looks like outside of our studio. So, Shannon, any other thing you want to recap on?
Hey, yeah, sorry, I just wanted to reiterate some of the road conditions. So Morristown Police this morning talking about how the roads were slick up in Hamlin County. Morgan County seeing some slick spots, and that's interesting because Morgan County I don't think has gotten any snow yet. I think they're just wet. So looking at your map.
Brief period of sleet.
Yeah.
That's just the recent radar.
And then, but I think the most snow that we've seen so far this morning has been Morristown, Rocky Top, La Follette. A little bit of rain, a little bit of flurry in Crossville.
Yeah.
But I guess just a reminder again, today we did have a stalled car earlier this morning on I-40. We haven't seen any bad traffic accidents, which is great. But be careful with these wet roads because you guys know how you all drive in the snow and the rain, and it's not great.
I know.
Love you, but
we don't drive awesome in not bad weather.
Right.
Like, East Tennessee is not a fun place when you don't have snow.
Right. So just be careful out on the roadways today, especially on I-40, which is, they're doing their best, TDOT is, to put the brine down and everything, but as this rain continues to come in, it could wash it out. You're going to have some slick spots on those bridges and overpasses. So just leave space between you and the car in front of you, which is like some advice from me as well. Still leave some space. And then just, power outages are going down this morning, which is great. So a lot of people, a lot of great line workers out there making sure that power gets restored. Just to reiterate too, though, have that phone charger, have gas in your car so that if your power does go out, you can charge your phone there and still have a way to communicate and get these weather updates.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Send Becca your pictures.
Yes. Keep them coming. Cassie's going to be in here tonight. We're going to have a full crew keeping an eye on this. Vinay Simlot is going to be live in Cumberland County. And hopefully we have much more photos and videos and content to show you throughout the day.
We've also got 2 other reporters that'll be out.
Who else is live tonight?
Mary and Marissa and Caitlin.
Oh my God. We have
got a
the
whole team.
best crew out for you guys tonight. That's great. I'm excited for it. So y'all have a great day. Stay safe. Stay tuned for updates.